That was nice and easy.
What are you talking about? This also speaks to a much bigger issue.
Providing personal solutions through understanding people. This is the Creating Connections podcast with Gitomer certified advisor Mitch Taylor and certified personality trainer Vickie Musni.
All right, let's pick
For the
it.
record, that time it wasn't my fault.
I know. For the record.
I just needed that recorded.
Yeah.
So you know that for once it wasn't my fault.
For the record, this time it was not Vickie Musni's fault.
Thank you.
How come everyone has a problem mispronouncing your last name?
I have no idea. You've made it such a personal mission to teach people how to say it properly.
I have. I've done my best. It's my goal that no one screw up the spelling or the pronunciation of your name. But, you know, I can't help everybody.
Yep. It's been a lifelong generational family battle. So.
We're at 53 right now.
That's amazing.
53 episodes for the Creating Connections podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gitomer certified advisor Mitch Taylor.
And I'm certified personality trainer Vickie Musni.
And today we're continuation of last week's podcast from a standpoint of exploring your colleague relations, if you will.
So last week we talked about building client relationships, and we kept it pretty positive. You know, these are all the good things that you can do. This is what's working. This is how we have built real relationships with people that have become good and true friends. But there's also the other side of that coin. There are times when you not only just don't connect well with somebody, but you have conflict, either at a particular event or just your personalities just don't mesh. Your approach to life is not the same. And there are people that you just truly don't connect with. What do you do when you have that kind of negativity? Because my mind says you have to be positive. You have to, you can't go around bad-mouthing other people in the industry. But there are those people that sometimes just kind of deserve it.
Yeah, there is. I think it's a case of choosing your tribe, per se. And that terminology has been made popular most recently here in regards to many different leaders, if you will, in the speaking world and things like that. And choosing who you hang out with is important. Mark Farrell said it a long time ago, if you want to learn how to golf, don't hang out at the pool hall. And that's true too. And I think we've all experienced this at some point in our lives of being the smartest person in the room and how that's not always a good thing. And yes, it's important to give back, absolutely. But you don't want to find yourself on a regular basis always being the smartest person in the room.
No.
And I think that's crucial. So how do you deal with that?
Talking about like inner circle or mastermind groups that you choose. But just the people that, hypothetically, let's say I'm involved in a local association and that I've been a leader in for a long time. And, new people come and, things are changing. And sometimes that's good. And other times it's really challenging. What do you do with that? I mean, I'm trying really hard to not get into specifics here, but.
No, I understand. Because I've been a part of this. And recently I can think of another organization that I was a part of for years, and helped grow and help build. And they went a different direction, and that's okay. Doesn't mean I have to agree with the direction, and it doesn't mean that I have to stay. I can stay, or I can choose not to.
Nope.
Either way is totally okay. You just have to decide where your efforts are best spent. Where are you maximizing your value? And so you need to make that decision for yourself and take some time to contemplate it. You can't make a rash decision. This coming from the really strong red that often makes rash decisions.
Are you talking about me or you?
Me.
Just checking. I couldn't tell.
No, I definitely talk about me on that one. I am the strong red, and I do make rash decisions sometimes, self-admittedly, and not always to my benefit.
And I think that's the hard part is, for me, I mean, I'm highly emotional and
No.
yeah, shock. I know you'd never noticed that. But in this particular case, this is a group that I've been, in leadership with for a really long time. And I took a step back on purpose because of a variety of things, but there was one piece of it that I was still the chair of for the last couple of years. And not only was it just kind of taken away, but I was told one thing and then something else happened. And it really hurt.
You just need to choose to either be okay with it or not be okay with it.
So can I pretend to be okay with it even if I'm not?
I don't think so. I think you need to choose. Either you're okay with it and you move on, because everyone's going to make their own choices about what they want for direction of a organization or a group you're a part of or a club or whatever the case may be. And you have to be okay with it and let things run its course and take a step back if you need to and still be involved, but not to the level you once were, or not be okay with it and decide, nope, I think I'm good. I'm going to take my exit here and wish everyone well.
But there's still this part of me that kind of wants to know what's going to happen. And I feel like, could I just shut my mouth and just, buy a ticket to this event and go and see for myself? How does it go? Maybe she'll surprise me. Maybe it'll end up being, a good thing. Maybe I'll be wrong.
And we've all been wrong before, from that standpoint. So I don't want to say, huh?
Just kidding.
What'd you say? Speak for yourself. Wow.
No,
we've all been wrong before in some shape or fashion, so it's just a case of deciding to be okay with it or not okay with it. That's all. Mm-hmm. And
I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder, there's times when maybe your heart's not in it, but you can choose to do what your head tells you is the right thing. And then maybe your heart will catch up.
That's an interesting dilemma. I've always chosen to lead with heart first, then head, to my detriment in some cases.
Yeah.
But
sometimes my head's a little more rational. And
yeah.
And maybe I can convince the rest of me that once I cool down and get off of making it personal, because right now it feels like a personal attack, even though I'm sure that wasn't the intent.
No, not the. I'm sure it wasn't the intent either. But
no, and that's how I'm feeling. So maybe if I just, give myself a cooling off period where I don't make a big decision.
Yeah. It's just like sales. Sales are made on emotion, but justified on logic. And my wife and I, when we go into a place of business or something and we see something that we both love that basically speaks to us, reaches out and, speaks to us, then we'll buy it in more cases than not. But it has to speak to us emotionally, right, first before we're in.
Yeah.
So this has been Vickie's psychological evaluation for her club.
A few weeks since
that'll be
just about me.
That'll be $75. Please sign here. Press hard 10 copies. And I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
I'm kidding. But no, if you want to know how to handle a difficult situation with a colleague, you just need to decide: A, are you willing to take time out of your schedule and their schedule and ask to sit down and talk about it? Mm-hmm. And have some space from the situation that occurred to decide that, you know what, now I can talk about this. Mm-hmm. I recently had that happen with an event pro, and it was a long time, but we finally did sit down and talk about it, and it was good.
Well, and I think people process differently, and as someone who, needs to vent,
yes,
I have to be very, very selective of who that is. I mean, you that are watching can probably tell that Mitch knows more details about this particular situation than I've been willing to divulge in this context. I shared. Stop.
I'm kidding.
You know, but this is not something that I'm going to go talk about publicly on Facebook and say, I can't believe that this person did this or yada, yada, yada.
But you just did it on YouTube, so hey.
Stop it.
Oh, that's how you handle the situation.
I think it was vague enough
Yeah.
that, you know, that it was still appropriate. There were no names. I didn't even mention which state or anything.
No, you didn't.
So we're good.
You're good.
We're good.
All right. That's how you handle that uncomfortable situation. I'm Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor.
And I'm Certified Personality Trainer Vickie Musni.
Check us out at creatingconnections.biz for the latest on speaking engagements and where we're going to be upcoming, and also pick up the latest copy of our book, Creating Connections, 31 Days to Building Stronger and Deeper Relationships. If you have an idea for a show topic, comment down below. Right down here, just write down, not write, but you're going to type down what you want for a show idea.
I want so badly. Can we just share that it's on Audible?
Yes.
Okay, it just came out on Audible. I'm excited about that.
Yes, me too. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Creating Connections podcast with Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor and Certified Personality Trainer Vickie Musni. For more information on providing personal solutions through understanding people better, visit creatingconnections.biz.